Test Drive with Graeme Fletcher.
My pet peeve with this vehicle is the tyre. It looks great and it gives you more space inside, but every time you want to get anything out of the trunk, you've got to swing it out of the way. They've overcome this somewhat by having the opening glass so you can throw stuff in. But to retrieve it, every time you have to swing this out of the way.
It was 30 years ago when I did my first test drive, and it was on a then new Nissan Pathfinder. The years have gone by. I know I've changed. I got way less hair for one thing. But what about the Pathfinder? On this edition of Test Drive, the 4th generation.
Way back when the Pathfinder arrived as a body-on-frame rig, it was designed to take the driver anywhere they wanted. Since then, it has flip-flopped between ladder frame and unibody construction a couple of times. The 2017 model sticks with the unitised body and adopts a softer road personality. About the most aggressive you want to get is a cottage access road. The upside is way more on-road refinement.
When it comes to space, this Pathfinder has got a lot. 453 litres with a third row up. Fold it down and that number grows to 1,201 litres. Fold the second row down and you've now got 2,260 litres of cargo space, which is a great deal. There is, however, one word to the wise. If the third row is not in use, fold this headrest down. Otherwise, they loom very large in the rearview mirror.
The original Pathfinder arrived with a 3-litre V6 rated at 145 horsepower. At the time, that was a lot for an SUV. The other thing was a manual gearbox. Today, the Pathfinder arrives with a new 3.5-litre V6 that pushes 284 horsepower, which is up 24 from last year, and 259 pound-feet of torque. It is married to a CVT. It differs from most in that under hard acceleration, it shifts between pre-selected ratios, which eliminates the usual motorboating drone. As such, I could live with this transmission.
When it comes to the cabin of this Pathfinder, some of the plastics are a bit hard, which I found disappointing. The seats, on the other hand, are superb, especially when it comes to long-distance comfort. And of course, it's got the now mandatory infotainment system. Now, this thing has got 23 buttons, which makes it seem a bit intimidating. The saving grace is it has a very good voice recognition system, and of course, the screen is touch-sensitive.
Where the original Pathfinder featured a part-time four-wheel drive system that would take the driver just about anywhere they wanted, the new model gets an intelligent system with 3 modes. The first mode drives the front wheels and is aimed at improving fuel economy. Auto monitors the wheels and adjusts the torque split to suit the conditions. It sends just enough power rearward to prevent wheel spin. The lock mode holds the power split at 50-50 until the Pathfinder hits 40k. It then reverts back to auto mode to prevent unwanted wind-up. Not a bad system, but it was a bit slow on the uptake a few times.
When you look at the rear half of this vehicle, the middle row of seating is very comfortable indeed. However, when you get to the third row, well, they've got to be a lot smaller than me. It's not very comfortable.
The latest Pathfinder's suspension has been completely retuned. The spring rates are stiffer and the damping is firmer. As a result, there is much less body roll than is expected from a 3-row ride. The downside is sharp road imperfections like expansion joints tend to filter back to the cabin. That said, I like the new setup because it delivers much better feel and feedback. Likewise, the steering is faster and nowhere near as soft and mushy as before. It's no sports car, but all the changes are for the better.
You know, this new Pathfinder kind of mirrors me. It was once a brash entrant in a very competitive segment. Since then, it's put its boonie bashing days behind it and become a vehicle that's more at home in a mall parking lot. Is that such a bad thing? Not really in my book. If you've got a family of 6 or 7 and you're looking for a civilized ride, you've got the candidate right here.
That aside, let's go to the scoreboard and see how the Pathfinder fared.